The 2026 Volvo EX90 is one of those cars that makes you stop and think, wow, this is really where the future of driving is headed. It's not just another electric SUV trying to jump into the market. It's Volvo's flagship statement piece, a fully electric 7-seat luxury SUV designed to carry families, impress neighbors, and give you that sense of Scandinavian calmness even when you're stuck in rush hour traffic. And what's really interesting is that Volvo isn't trying to make this car feel overly futuristic or intimidating. Instead, the 2026 Volvo EX90 is all about blending advanced technology with that familiar Volvo warmth and practicality. By the end of this video, you'll see why this SUV might just be one of the smartest luxury EVs out there. Let's start with the way it looks, because the exterior design is definitely a conversation starter. When you first lay eyes on the 2026 Volvo EX90, it doesn't scream at you with wild angles or spaceship vibes. Instead, it has this sleek, clean, understated confidence. Volvo has always been about elegance without shouting, and the EX90 captures that beautifully. The front end has a closed grille, which is typical of EVs since they don't need as much airflow, but it's framed by Volvo's signature Thor's Hammer LED headlights. And let me tell you, those headlights look even sharper here, almost like a set of icy Nordic eyes staring down the road. As the lights animate when you unlock the car, it feels like the SUV is waking up to greet you. Walk around the side and you notice the proportions. Big but not bulky, long but balanced. The flush door handles pop out smoothly when you approach, keeping airflow clean when you're on the highway. Even the wheels are designed not just for looks, but for aerodynamics, with sizes up to 22 inches that give the car a solid stance. Around back, those vertical taillights that have been a Volvo hallmark for decades are reimagined into this slim, futuristic design that stretches up toward the roofline. At night, they look like glowing ski tracks cutting through the snow, which feels fitting for a brand from Sweden. Now, step inside the 2026 Volvo EX90, and this is where you'll probably find yourself saying, okay, I could live here. The cabin is one of the most calming spaces you'll experience in a modern SUV. Everything is minimalistic, but not in a cold, empty way. It's warm and inviting, like stepping into a beautifully designed Scandinavian living room. Volvo uses sustainable materials throughout, so you'll find responsibly sourced wood trims, recycled fabrics, and even carpets made from old fishing nets. It feels good to touch, and it feels even better knowing it's eco-friendly. Right in the center of the dashboard is a massive 14.5-inch vertical touchscreen. It's running Volvo's latest Google-based infotainment system, which means you've got Google Maps, Google Assistant, and even access to apps like Spotify right out of the box. The graphics are crisp, the response time is quick, and because it's powered by Qualcomm's Snapdragon chip, it feels smooth, not sluggish like some older systems. And here's something you'll love. The X90 supports 5G connectivity, so your maps update instantly and your streaming never lags. In front of the driver, there's a smaller but very clear digital display showing speed, navigation prompts, and all the essentials. And if you're the type who loves futuristic touches, wait till you hear this. The EX90 comes with an optional head-up display that projects information onto the windshield in augmented reality. So directions literally float on the road ahead of you. It's like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it's actually really useful. Space-wise, the 2026 Volvo EX90 is impressive. Remember, this is a full-size SUV with 3 rows of seats. You can fit 7 passengers comfortably, and unlike some SUVs where the third row feels like a punishment, in the X90 it's actually usable for adults on shorter trips. The panoramic glass roof floods the cabin with light, making it feel even bigger and airier. The seats are what you'd expect from Volvo, plush yet supportive, designed for long journeys without fatigue. And with heating, ventilation, and even massage functions available, you'll honestly feel like you're riding in a first-class lounge. Cargo space is generous too. With the third row folded, you get a massive amount of room for luggage, strollers, or even that last-minute IKEA haul. Fold the second row down and it basically turns into a moving van, but a very luxurious one. Now, let's talk about features. Because the 2026 Volvo EX90 is packed with technology that genuinely feels like it's there to make your life easier, not just to show off. Safety, of course, is where Volvo has always led the industry, and this SUV takes it to another level. The X90 is equipped with LiDAR sensors integrated neatly into the roofline, along with radar and cameras, giving it a 360-degree awareness of the road. This isn't just for lane keeping or adaptive cruise control. Volvo claims this system can predict and avoid accidents even before they happen. It's almost like having a co-pilot that's always alert, even when you're not. And here's something remarkable. The car's interior sensors can detect if a child or pet is accidentally left inside, and it will warn you immediately. That's the kind of real-world detail that saves lives. The audio system is another highlight. Partnering with Bowers & Wilkins, Volvo has fitted the EX90 with a 25-speaker setup that includes speakers in the headrests. Yes, in the headrests. It creates this immersive, almost concert hall-like experience that makes even your daily commute feel special. Imagine listening to your favorite playlist while the cabin fills with crystal clear sound that seems to come from everywhere around you. So how does it drive? Well, here's where the X90 really puts its EV credentials to work. Depending on the configuration, you can get dual-motor all-wheel drive setups producing up to 496 horsepower and around 671 pound-feet of torque. That means this big 7-seater can go from 0 to 60 in just under 4.7 seconds. Think about that for a second. An SUV this size moving like a sports car. But here's the key. It doesn't feel like it's trying to be aggressive or wild. Instead, it delivers power in this smooth, effortless way. Press the accelerator and it just glides forward with instant torque. It's quiet too. The cabin is so well insulated that road and wind noise are minimal, and you really get that serene EV experience. Range is always the big question with electric vehicles, and the 2026 Volvo EX90 delivers up to 300 miles on a full charge thanks to its 111 kilowatt-hour battery pack. That's plenty for most families, whether you're commuting during the week or taking a weekend trip. And when you do need to recharge, the X90 supports fast charging up to 250 kilowatts. In practical terms, that means you can go from 10 to 80% in about 30 minutes at a DC fast charger. Perfect for grabbing a coffee and a snack while your car gets ready for the next leg of your journey. Of course, we can't talk about the X90 without mentioning its competitors. It's stepping into a very competitive segment alongside cars like the Tesla Model X, the Mercedes EQS SUV, the BMW iX, and the Rivian R1S. Each of those brings something unique to the table. But the Volvo stands out with its balance of Scandinavian design, class-leading safety, and a sense of calm luxury that some of the others just don't capture. The Tesla Model X, for example, is quicker and has those dramatic falcon doors, but its interior can feel a bit cold and tech-heavy. The Mercedes EQS SUV is ultra-luxurious, but its price can climb quickly with options. The BMW iX is sporty and stylish, but its design is polarizing. The Rivian R1S is adventurous and rugged, but it feels more like an outdoor explorer than a refined family luxury SUV. The 2026 Volvo X90 strikes a really sweet spot between all these. Speaking of price, this is where things get interesting. The starting price for the 2026 Volvo EX90 is expected to be around $80,000 in the US. That's certainly a premium price tag, but when you factor in the technology, the performance, the safety systems, and the overall luxury feel, it's competitive. Fully loaded with all the bells and whistles, you're probably looking at closer to $100,000. Still, for a flagship luxury EV SUV with seating for 7 and that legendary Volvo safety reputation, it feels justified. Now, let's be real. No car is perfect, not even the 2026 Volvo X90. One potential downside is that while the minimalist interior looks beautiful, some people might find it too simple or reliant on the touchscreen. If you're someone who likes lots of physical buttons, you may need some time to adjust. Another consideration is the weight. With that big battery and 7-seat capacity, the X90 is heavy, and while it handles itself gracefully, you're not going to get the same nimble feel as a smaller SUV. And of course, charging infrastructure still varies depending on where you live. If you're in an area with plenty of fast chargers, you'll love it. If not, you may need to plan ahead for longer trips, but here's the thing. For most people shopping in this category, the pros far outweigh the cons. The 2026 Volvo EX90 delivers stunning design, an interior that feels like a sanctuary, cutting-edge safety, and performance that can surprise you. It's a family SUV that doesn't just get you from point A to point B, it makes the journey part of the reward. And in a world where so many electric SUVs are trying to stand out with flashy gimmicks, the Volvo X90 wins hearts by staying true to its roots. Safe, stylish, practical, and quietly luxurious. So, if you're in the market for a premium electric SUV that can haul the whole family, protect them with some of the best safety tech on the planet, and still give